YouTube land, Rival here. Thanks for stopping by. As you can see, we've got something very special on the turntable for you today. This is the new ZT Factory Custom 0450. New box. It's the pull-apart kind instead of the flip open as some of the previous ones have been. Right on top you can see we've got the certificate of authenticity. So this isn't going to be a traditional overview of the knife itself. The knife's been around for quite some time and it's been reviewed many times over, once by me a long time ago. But you can see the specs, 3 1/4 blade, 4.1 closed, overall 7.45, weight 2.9 ounces. It is full titanium frame lock. But what we're going to be talking about are these things and what really makes it something special and worthy of the price tag. 'Cause these things go for $350 if you can get your hands on them. As of this recording, there were still 4 places on the interwebs where you could get this knife. It came out at 6 dealers on Friday the 25th of March. May. Sorry, Friday the 25th of May. And it sold out at 2 dealers pretty quickly. But what you're getting here is a ZDP 189 blade. You've got a full titanium frame lock. You've got custom modified custom modified hardware in the pivot here. You've got a custom clip from Sinkevich. And then you've got the milled front scale. And my understanding from some of the usual places where ZT fanatics are speaking is that Sinkevich had did the milling on the front of the blade, or excuse me, on the front of the frame. So you've got pieces of the blade, or excuse me, pieces of the knife that Sinkevich has touched himself. You've got the custom pocket clip. You've got the premium blade steel. It's PVD coated as opposed to anodized. And then, of course, you've got the full DLC coat on the blade. You know, a nice thing about the PVD coat as opposed to an anodized bronze, and it is like a bronzish, copperish color. The light here is washing it out just a little bit. But this is the bronzed 0609. And as you can see, you've got some spots on it where the coloring is still pretty nice and pretty good. And then you've got other places where it just starts to kind of fade away due to the oils and fingerprints that you leave on it when you handle it, flip it, and use it on a regular basis. So in order to keep getting it that nice coloration to come out, you've got to wipe it down with some Windex or wipe it down with like a light soapy cloth or something like that to just clean it up a little bit. But on the PVD coating, it's a lot more resilient, and the color really stands out and stands true. And that is something that is pretty exceptional. It is the full frame lock version, so it's 2.9 ounces as opposed to like the 1.8 ounces of the CF versions. So it's a little more heft in your pocket, but it's definitely worth it, and it's still an under 3 ounce knife with a 3 1/4 inch blade, which makes it one of the more amazing knives out there today. It's one of my personal favorites anyways. I think the biggest thing that this knife has going for it is that custom clip. It's a full titanium clip. It's got the Sinkevich logo right on it. And as you can see, compared to the standard ZT steel clip, it's a bit smaller. It's got a similar overall profile, but it's coming and its touching point is just after the milled pocket here for the lock bar, whereas this one goes pretty far up the frame of the knife. They still sit and ride in the pocket at about the same height. This one actually rides just about there, and then this one is going to ride just a little lower, which is nice. And then this, the custom clip also has a different bend pattern. As you can see, you've got like the big dimple here with the ramp for the knife, and then a big open flat area, which rides and fits in the pocket good, but this more traditional style is going to ride just as well. And you've got what, like a 1, 2, 3 point bend pattern as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a dimple over here. So it's just a nice, more toned down custom clip. I very much like it. And then that is DLC coated as well, or excuse me, PVD coated. Blade is DLC. Handles PVD. Yeah, the custom hardware, I don't got good zooms here. Let's see what we can do for you. And still get a good focus. It's alright. But as you can see, you've got a couple of depressions or kind of milled out dimples, if you will, in the pivot. So overall, I mean, it looks very nice. Those finishing touches are just extra sweet. And the fact that it's polished and DLC coated, and then the hardware itself is polished and DLC coated. Your standoffs, while still the aluminum standoffs, are polished and DLC coated. So it just gives it a really nice overall look to the blade, and just kind of taking that coloring down through the handle. Any places there's screws, it's black PVD polished. And it is nice. It's just a beautiful overall look. So again, I mean, what you're really getting with this limited edition version, well, I mean, there's the fact that it's limited in number. Generally speaking, GT doesn't release their overall production models, but I think in the the 392s, I don't think we saw much higher than 500 or maybe 600 on every single one of those models. And then the 606s came out, and same kind of deal. And then there's, half of them are going overseas and half of them are staying here in the United States. So really, I mean, there's only a few hundred of these things that are out there and available. So we'll probably see them, for a little while in the stores. They will sell out eventually. We'll see them on the secondary. People asking some crazy prices, I'm sure. And then they'll just kind of disappear for a while, like the 392s have. Every once in a while pop up as people either are using them and then eventually flipping them or moving on to other blades, or just dropping them in their saves as safe queens. I remember there was the version that Sinkevich did. There's about 20 of them, and he just took the standard 0450 and he 3D milled that front scale, a different pattern than this, but it was just a 3D milled front scale. And then he had the custom clip on the back and its own little box he called the Sinkevich Touch, and those things went for 400, maybe it was 425, something like that. And I've seen them, well, if you see them pop up, I think I've seen 2 of them pop up on the secondary market within the last year or two. And I believe the prices were around 7 or so. So, I mean, those things went up in value significantly. Anything Sinkevich works on these days, he works on some pretty high dollar stuff. So, just getting him to take the time and energy to, modify the pivots, put a custom pattern on the front scale, and stamp out some of these clips is time that is of premium value. So, I think the price point that they've got on there, $350, is pretty respective of the fact that there's some custom tweaks on there. You've got the nice packaging, you've got certificate of authenticity, and on top of the regular versions of the knife, which are already going for I think these things are around 180 or so, the carbon fiber version, and the regular tie version's around 160 or somewhere around there. People who love this particular knife and who are big fans of this particular knife, if they want a premium version or a special version of it, this is the one they're going to get. This will probably be the user. This will probably be the one that comes out on special occasions, and that's pretty damn fantastic. I think it's a good addition to the factory custom lineup, which has had, 4 entries to date. You've got the 606, which was the R.J. Martin version. You've got the 392, which was the Hinderer version. You've got this guy. That's 3, if I can learn how to count. So yeah, some interesting stuff coming out of that factory custom project. That is what I got for you this week. Hopefully we'll have some pimp jobs and some other things on the turntable for you next week. Like and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. Peace.